What are you looking at? Well, I think there's two options really. You're either looking at the fact that I now have full netherite armour. Look at me go. It's mostly fully enchanted. It's got all the necessary things: protection, unbreaking, mending, plus aqua affinity. I think there's a couple more to go on the helmet. I could do with a couple more on the boots. I need swift sneak on there. But that's not a today problem. That's a future problem. The other option is you're looking at this rather irregular shape of tuft. If you weren't looking at any of those, then make sure to comment down below what you were looking at, and I'll make sure to reply and tell you that you're looking at the wrong thing. Just, in case you hadn't guessed. Anyway, this is going to be a big pillar. It's going to whooshum up out of the ground, and then I think around here I'm going to have another pillar that will also whooshum out of the ground, but this one will likely be a little bit smaller. And I could do it in a big circle, but I'm not going to do that because I want it to be natural. Because I've told you this all before, I'm not a massive terraformer. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I have a whole lot of stuff and some diamonds I found, and I'm going to try and make some pillars so that this library can only be accessed by one bridge. And although it can actually be accessed by the waterfalls, it doesn't look like it can be accessed by the waterfalls, because I don't know if you know, but if you passed physics, you probably will know that you can't actually swim up a waterfall. I believe people have tried because of Minecraft and have failed fairly miserably. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you the finished product of the library before we start going, because I've gone and I've put in some more books and I've got all the villagers in. So we'll start over here with all of the villagers. Aren't they all nice in their little cubby holes? Some of them have been zombified once already, but that shouldn't happen because all of these caves, there was a big cave there and there was a big one. It was somewhere, but my terraforming might have actually been so good that I can't figure out where it is. Where was it? I think it was somewhere up there. Oh, or it might have been up here. Yeah, I think... I have no idea. Well, that's just a sign that I've done really well, or that I've got poor memory, because I literally did that about 20 minutes ago. But I've covered up the caves. No zombies can really spawn in this area anymore, so that's all well and good. And then if we wander into the actual library, ideally without drowning myself, look at it now. It's got so many books and flowers and pretty bits. And you know what? I'm blooming chuffed with this. I like this an awful lot. I think it is truly fantabulously beautiful. And that's the library entirely done, except for some things I might put on here, but I don't know what I'll put in there. I might do a chest with some lapis in and things I need to enchant. But yeah, this is what we've got now. We've got all of our villagers mending in the middle. I think your efficiency 5. Why have I bought so many efficiency 5 books? I don't know, but it means I get cheap lanterns. And over here, if I have Hero of the Village, which I can get thanks to my raid farm, that goes down to 1 emerald per bookshelf, which means I can buy a bookshelf for 1 emerald, and then I can break it into 3 books and sell each book for 1 emerald. So I actually have an infinite emeralds glitch, which isn't a glitch, it's just life hacks. Anyway, I have rambled for far too long now. I'm loving the feather falling boots, as you can see, because I don't die. And I think it's time we hop straight into a time lapse and I do this. This episode might be shorter than usual because I expect I might spend a decent amount of time sat contemplating this, and apparently, I think, did I throw something? Do I have everything important on me? Got you, I've got you, I've got you, got you, got you. My diamond hoe. Oh well, I'll find that in a moment. That's not... Oh, there it is. How lovely. I think, yeah, let's hop straight into a time lapse. I will see you once that is time lapse. This is your moment in the episode to look at the outside world, which we don't normally see in my videos anymore. I'm currently standing on what was originally going to be my base, which we then discovered was pillagerified. But it's great because it means that I get lots of bad omen bottles. And let me just show you, oh hello, let me just show you how many flags I've acquired. This is not even all of them. Yeah, I've just put them all here. I'm not sure what I'm actually going to do when I run out of this clearing, because it's looking like it might happen fairly soon. But, there's quite a few. You might ask me, Chez, why are you killing these things and not doing something slightly more productive with your time? And there's an answer for that, I promise you that. But that is that these have Depth Strider 1 on, and I have a book for Depth Strider 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3, and I quite like to get Depth Strider 3, so I'm working towards that. And to add that to my boots currently, I need 36 levels, so that's gonna be fun. So I'm just sat here using this to, you know, get some more emeralds, get a bit more XP, and when I actually have some more banner people, I'm just gonna go, you know, kill the banner people, do some raids, fun stuff like that. Feeling cute, might start a raid later. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm now going to run over and show you my little bit of terraforming. Bannerman, hello. Give me your bottles. Wow. What's that one? Oh, a bad omen 5. That's always a nice one. Yoink. Okay, dokes, let's hop on my horsey, Blackbeard, and skedaddle off down the hill. Unless you're not a bannerman, you're not relevant to me. And down we go. Now, I was a bit unsure about this little bit of terraforming. I didn't know what to make of it, whether I was going to like it. And at the start, before I modified it a bit, I honestly didn't like it. But then I smoothed it out a bit, I made the moss less clumpy, I added some lanterns, and now I actually quite like it. let's just send ourselves down here. I'm gonna make this a slightly nicer lake. Oh, okay. Right, you lot, you're all being really dramatic right now. I'm having none of it. You hear me? I'm having absolutely none of it. I'll just leave you here to despawn because I don't need any slime balls. But I honestly quite like this bit of terraforming. I'm trying to just use lighter blocks because the cave itself, although I've lit it up where I can, it's really a dark place. All of this deep slate, I don't want any of it. Unless maybe it's at the very bottom of a small ravine. Or unless it's a place that's meant to be deliberately shadowed. For instance, up here, where I have some filler buildings, those two which you can just see the bottom of, that alleyway I'd quite like to be a bit of a dodgy alleyway. I think that would be quite fun. But I think that that's a future Chez thing for when I have Elytra, because a dodgy alleyway to me means none of these nice sturdy bridges that you can like cartwheel on with no problem, but it's going to be sort of rickety bridges. I'm thinking 1, maybe 2 blocks wide if we're lucky. I've also gone and just done some basic clearing up. You used to not be able to walk past here because there was water everywhere, and I've contained all the water and it's lovely. And I think I'm going to play around on here with making the water look like it's running, do a little bit of build stone. Apparently, some Ujima flips, which are called dispensers, dispensing snow in a downward motion looks quite good. And then of course, you know, I'll add some glass and cobwebs, etc, etc. And as for the rest of the cave, I might follow this example. I might do great big boulders made of tuff and stone and have water running between them with lots and lots of spruce bridges branching off. I will think about it, and I might go into a creative version of this world and test it out a bit, but it would be a little bit like, oh that looks a bit naff there. It would be a little bit like a better version of a lush cave, because you know how lush cave has lots of clay and water and all of that jazz. I might just do that, except better. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go and get some raids and try and get my boots to be even better. So, fun fact guys, it turns out that Depth Strider 2 plus, Depth Strider 1 plus Depth Strider 2 actually only equals, oh, hello. That actually only equals Depth Strider 2, so I now get to do it all again, basically. Will I do it all again? Probably, but who knows. Oh, I didn't think they took full damage. How interesting. Anyway, I think it's high time we did some more building that isn't terraforming, because bleh, I don't like terraforming that much. It's boring and it involves effort and all that boring stuff. I think I might just try and do these 2 little interiors in here. I mean, they're not very big, and I'm not going to extend these buildings that much whatsoever. It's... let me out. It will literally just be a small room. I might add a few more dripstone bits and do all that jazz. But it is not going to be anything fancy schmancy. However, I think it is something that is worth doing. So I think I might either... no, I won't hop into a time-lapse. That's going to be a right pain to do in here. So if we just wander into this corner, and there. I bet you thought that I was going to open this door, didn't you? But I'm not. I'm actually going to show you the outside because we've expanded. You actually can't really see it that much, but this building's got taller, and I'll show you why in just a tick. Now, these interiors are very, very small. Cozy, one might say. I want to do something more with the roof in here. And once I have some more dripstone, I can cover up this water. So I probably should have showed you the other one first. But for now, this is a flooded building. It might look slightly better. This was also quite rushed because I have a total of like, what, about 9 blocks to work with, plus whatever that is, 8, so 17 blocks, which sounds like more than it is. And then in here, we've got something slightly nicer. This is the clay making room. We've got a cute little area down there. That's... what's going on there? You're not meant to have some... hang on. I just wanted one there. Yep, great. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I've got a cute little... right. I've got a cute little pond down here. Of course, the crafting table, as I have in all of my builds. A couple of bookshelves over here. And I'll probably put some more books in them. Bush to take up space. The window, which actually leads to a stone wall, because everyone needs a window that leads to a stone wall. I'm not entirely sure my account's connected because this is not my skin. That's not me. Alright, whatevs, we'll just roll with it. And I'm also going to throw my bucket. The way it works is that I will put dripstone on here, walk up, put mud on this platform, and then in about 5 minutes I pop up, dig up all the clay that will have formed from the mud, and Bob's your uncle. You've got some clay which you can turn into terracotta. How often will I use this? Not that often, but I'm sure it will come in. I'm sure it will come in handy in a pinch. I mean, I spent a decent amount of time on that cactus farm, and I've used it maybe 3 times, but it's still going strong. We still have Scallywag the cat down here. Oh, and we've made a friend. Hello. Oh, I'm not meant to look at you, am I? Oh well, whatever. But yeah, this has still been going strong. It's been going in the background for all of my videos. It is a slow farm, isn't it? But I just have cactus when I need it now. So yeah, that's good. I do think that's going to be the end of the episode because I need to edit this all together, and I'd ideally like to get some stuff ready to go and do our nether preparation, which is for episode, not nether, well actually yes. So next episode I'm going to go to the nether to prepare for the end. So that means I'm going to go and get some Eyes of Ender, kill some of the friends that we saw in the cactus farm, aka Endermen, get some pearls, all that jazz, in time for me to get Elytra, which I'm very excited for. And plus it means I have an excuse for all of the gunpowder that I've been using that I've got from my raid farm. So that's lovely, and I can get some paper with my sugarcane farm. So that's all good. This is quite difficult to go backwards. Can I go up a ladder backwards? I can. That's quite cool, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to keep walking backwards as I tell you all about how I also need to do a full inventory reset basically. I've already gone and chopped a whole lot of wood, and I'm desperately low on terracotta, so I might have to take a trip to my mesa. Stone I'm alright on, but I'd quite like to get a bit more, you know, just sort this out, mine the ores, etc. I desperately need to do something with this, and I'm also working on getting some villagers which I think can trade for terracotta. So yeah, we've got some babies in here sleeping, or I did have some babies in here. They might have grown up. But that's all background stuff. But what isn't background stuff is the name of this cave. I have decided what I want to call it. Now, it's not a cove, because a cove is something that pirates go in, but that's normally something made from a divot in a cliff, pretty much. It's a cave. However, I am going to do some lore. So I think it's time I headed up to my proclaiming station, which is up on the balcony up there. You see, long ago, when people started out with this cave, they used this building that I'm on right now as their first settlement, and they decided to look at the cave and name it something. Now, they had a bit of debate on the name, because commonly they would call something a cove, because that's where pirates go, but this isn't a cove, this is a cave. However, when they were writing down the name, which is going to be named after its local species, which is unique specifically to this cave, when they were writing it down, you see, the pirate, he was a little bit dyslexic, and he wrote down cove anyway, and not because I want it to be that way, because it sounds cooler. And now I ought to tell you, what is it? What do you think it is? So let's look around. What animal can you see from this balcony that you don't normally see in a cave? What animal is scattered everywhere but you can't normally see it? It's them, the chickens. And so from henceforth, this cave will be named Chicken Cove. Da, da, da. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment. And I will see you next week for some nether work to prepare for the end. And I might even do a little bit of building. Bye!